So overall as a company, Olight has been fairly quiet this year with new releases. But when they do come out with a new flashlight, it's solid. This right here is the Olight Prowess. And there's really only a handful of flashlight companies releasing new features, new innovative designs when it comes to the flashlight world, and Olight is definitely one of them. So let's check out this new Prowess. And this is everything the Olight Prowess comes with. I'll give you a look at the box right there. Lumens and runtime information on the back. It does come with a USB Type A to Type C charging cable, but no magnetic charging cable here. And it comes with a fairly decent holster. Right here, I do like these style holsters as opposed to the nylon holsters. So yeah, I do like this. And it also comes with a mounting bracket that you can mount right to your wall, either with 3M tape or comes with some screws. You can screw them right to your wall and just plop in that holster as so. And it comes with a USB Type-C charging base right here. You can see the charging port right there on the back. Once that's plugged in, just plop in the flashlight, starts charging. Now my time with the Prowess, this is exactly how I was charging this flashlight. I do like this. It's a pretty stable base because it does come with a 3M suction cup right here that I had to put on. That's right, it comes separately, so I put that on, and it also comes with another double-sided piece of 3M tape right here if you want to stick this to your desk. Then it also comes with some warning information and your user manual. But let's throw all of this off to the side over here, and I'll give you guys a nice close-up of the brand new Olight Prowess right here. Now while you guys are checking this out, let's talk about some of the features. So the Olight Prowess has a maximum output of 5,000 lumens, a maximum throwing distance of 245 meters, and a max intensity of 15,010 candela. And one of the standout features of the Prowess is its bidirectional functionality. That's right, it has a cool white front light, and it also has a warm reverse light that can be changed with a toggle switch. In the front light mode, there's 5 brightness levels plus strobe. And in the reverse warm light mode, it has a stepless dimming feature. And everything is controlled with a single side switch and that toggle switch. It has a waterproof rating of IPX7. The X means the dust proofing wasn't tested, and the 7 means it's submersible in up to 3 feet of water. And it also has a 1 meter impact resistance. All right, let's talk dimensions. It has a length of 5.63 inches and a bezel diameter of 1.93 inches. And according to my weight test, it comes in at 9.49 ounces. That's 269 grams. And yes, I did weigh it with the battery in it. And at the time of this video, I couldn't find any information on these emitters right here, these 6 LEDs. I couldn't find any information in the user manual or online, so I'm not exactly sure what these LEDs are. But they do have a cool white color temperature, and you guys will see that when I take this outside and do the beam test a little bit later on in this video. Also, I'm going to give you guys a look at this battery here. This is a 3.6 volt, 5,000 milliamp hour, 21700 rechargeable lithium-ion battery. Now, it can be charged via a magnetic charging cable through the tail right here, or as I mentioned earlier, it can just be plopped in this charging base that you plug in your USB Type-C charging cable to. And I'll demonstrate that in a minute, but I want to talk about this battery real quick. You can see this little plastic tip right there. That means it's a proprietary battery. I tried 3 other 21700s in this flashlight and it just didn't work. So the Prowess will only accept Olight batteries of this style right here. And honestly, that kind of sucks, but I'll give you a look at the tail here. You can see no spring at the tail. There is a spring down there near the head, so it is a single spring system for this battery. I always hope for a double spring system, but a single spring, it's fine. It's not a tactical flashlight. And I mentioned this is how I was charging the Prowess right here, is with this USB Type-C charging base. So I really like the addition of this charging base. So I have it plugged in with the included USB Type-A to Type-C charging cable, and to charge it, that's it. And yes, I do realize it would be much more convenient to just have it be charged with this USB Type-C charging cable and not this base. Because if you're giving us this base, why not just give us a MCC cable and just slap it on the tail right here? It's basically the exact same thing. And with that being said, I'm still a fan of this little USB Type-C charging base right here. They give you a little suction cup sticker right there to put on the bottom, and you can hear that. So it stays on your desk pretty well. And I guess if you want a more permanent solution, you can just use the included double-sided tape right to your desk and take off that suction cup. I put on that suction cup, and the way it comes right out of the box, there's nothing there. So just choose whichever one you want and go with it. But you can see now that it's in the base, it is charging. It's glowing green, so I'm at 100%. That battery life indicator is a boot up battery life indicator and 4 levels, and that's right dead center of that side switch. So let's talk about this side switch really quick. It's a single side switch that controls all the lighting levels, and then there's a toggle switch right here that switches between forward light and the reverse light. And the addition of this reverse light, let me tell you, I'm a huge fan of that. When I say I love innovative flashlights, and Olight is one of those companies constantly coming out with new features, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Little things like this, I'm a big fan of. But regarding the side switch right here, you can see it kind of looks like one of those dials that you can rotate, where if you have a stepless dimming feature, you can turn it on and pick your brightness level. But unfortunately, that does not rotate. At first glance, I thought it did, but it doesn't. And let me just say, I'm glad that Olight actually included a mechanical toggle switch right here. No fancy button presses, no double presses or anything like that to turn on that reverse light. It's as simple as pressing that side switch and hitting that toggle switch right there. It's super easy. And this warm reverse light right here is one of my favorite features of the Prowess. You can use it as just illumination for your desk, as you can see right here if you press and hold. That stepless dimming feature is pretty nice. Press and hold again. But I'll go over all this when I talk about the UI in a little bit. But because of this reverse light feature right here, this warm light, I think this is going to make a great camping light, especially with this magnetic tail right here where you can mount it to anything metal. So if you're using this in your tent, if you have a flat piece of metal with a hook on it, you can hook it to the top of your tent and use this as a nice upward facing light that's going to bounce everywhere. I think this is great. Or if you're someone like me that works out of the back of a truck at night on occasion, you can just stick this to the ceiling that's metal, crank this way up, these 800 lumens, and that light firing up is just going to bounce everywhere and illuminate everything. And on top of that, I think it's a gorgeous design with this diamond shaped design right here on the handle. And if I give you a close up of that diamond texturing, gives it a lot of grip, and it just looks beautiful in my opinion. And I'm surprised to see Olight do this because it's not really their style to have this type of design on their flashlights. Usually it's just that common knurling look, so I'm really glad to see something different right here on the Prowess. Also, some nice texturing right there near the head where my forefinger lands when I'm holding it in the overhand position. So overall, it's a pretty comfortable flashlight to hold in your hands. It's not the lightest flashlight in the world at 9.5 ounces, but it's not terrible, especially if you have it in the holster here. It doesn't come with the pocket clip, so if you want to carry this, gonna have to use this holster. Or if you take it camping, just plop it right in the back of your backpack. I think this is gonna work great for that. Also, if you use the charging base to charge the flashlight, you could mount it with the 1/4-20 mounting hole right there on the bottom of that charging base. So if you have a little stand, something like this, or a tripod that has a 1/4-20 screw on it, you can basically screw it into something like this, and if I tilt up like that, you can use it with that reverse light function like this and almost use it like a desk lamp. And this way, if you want to use it as a desk lamp, just plug in that USB Type-C charging cable and it'll provide continuous light. So I think that's a pretty nice touch with the Prowess. All right, let's go over the lumens and runtime information. Let's start with the front light. 5 brightness levels: moonlight, low, medium, high, and turbo. Moonlight is 5 lumens and has a 20-day runtime. Low is 50 lumens, has a 50-hour runtime. Medium, the sweet spot, 300 lumens and a 10-hour runtime. I think that's fantastic. With 1000 candela, that's where I have been spending most of my time with this flashlight, is on medium. And I think that 10-hour runtime is fantastic. And then high, 1200 lumens, and that runs for 150 minutes. And then steps down to 300 lumens with a 30-minute runtime. And then you have turbo, 5000 lumens. It has a runtime of 3 minutes. Steps down to 1200 lumens for another 140 minutes. And I'm going to test out that 3-minute runtime when I do my heat and turbo test in a little bit. And now let's talk about the warm reverse light, or the backlight right there. They say low is 2 lumens. It has a runtime of 20 days. And turbo is 800 lumens. It has a runtime of 20 minutes. Steps down to 600 lumens for another 135 minutes, and steps down again to 400 lumens for 65 minutes. And it has a maximum throw of 35 meters, which is pretty decent. And I just wanted to point out that the backlight, it says low and turbo, yet it is a stepless ramp up and down with that backlight. I'm guessing they're saying that at its lowest is 2 lumens and turbo is 800 lumens at its highest. And I really don't have any mode spacing issues right here. I do wish Moonlight was a 1 lumen Moonlight. Considering this is not a thrower, it's more of a floodlight, and I want a 1 lumen Moonlight mode in a light like this. And the UI is basic Olight UI, very simple. One short press turns it on, and a short press turns it off. From off, if you press and hold, it activates that 5 lumen Moonlight mode. And if you press and hold, it'll cycle through your 3 cyclable lighting modes: low, medium, and high. And as always, you double press for turbo, and warning, I'm about to do strobe. Triple click for strobe. Right there. Wow, that's bright. And I just realized they don't have any lumen information for strobe right there, but that seems like a very bright strobe light. And there is a lockout function. From off, if you press and hold for a couple seconds, let it flash right there, turn off. Now it's locked out. That's indicated by that red LED. And to unlock, just reverse the steps, press and hold. It should activate that 5 lumen Moonlight mode. And in the front light mode, it does support a memory. Even the Moonlight mode is memorized. So if right now it's on Moonlight, if I turn it off and turn it right back on, it goes right to Moonlight. I like that. So basically all of the brightest levels are memorized except for strobe and turbo. And now the reverse light, just hit that toggle switch down, activates that backlight or reverse light. And to ramp up, just press and hold that side switch, ramps all the way up. It'll flash when it reaches the 800 lumen maximum, and then let go, press and hold again to go right back down. And you guessed it, it flashes when it reaches the lowest level. And from my experience, that backlight also has a memory. So right there, check out that level. Turn it off, turn it right back on. It goes right back to that level, so that's nice. And if you guys are wondering, it takes about 4 seconds to fully ramp up from low all the way to turbo. So right now it's at the lowest level. Yeah, right around 4 seconds to go all the way low, all the way to turbo. But check this out. If it's charging inside of that charging base, it's much faster. Watch how fast it ramps from low to turbo when it's in this charging base. Yeah, less than half a second. Look at that. It is extremely fast when it's in this charging base. But I should say, when it's in the charging base, it doesn't go all the way to turbo. You can see it's probably a little bit less than turbo. Probably that 600 lumens that it steps down from is the maximum you're going to get when it's in that charging base here. All right, now it's time for my not so scientific heat and turbo test. Here I let the flashlight run for 3 minutes, and then I take its temperature at the head and the body after 1 minute, after 2 minutes, and then after 3 minutes. After 1 minute, the head was at 105 degrees Fahrenheit and the body was 87, so not that bad. And honestly, these temperatures weren't that bad at all with every level. So you can see after 2 minutes, at the head was 119 degrees Fahrenheit and at the body was 99. So it went up a little bit. And then after 3 minutes, it was 114 degrees Fahrenheit at the head and the body was 103. And touching the body with my bare hands at 103 degrees Fahrenheit wasn't that bad at all. I mean, it's warm, but you don't need gloves. Even touching the head at 114 degrees or even 119, yeah, it's hot, but you're not going to burn yourself. So overall, the Prowess handles that 5,000 lumen turbo pretty well regarding the heat. And regarding the turbo runtime, when I'm running the test, I'm actually holding that thermal camera. So I don't really see a step down when I'm doing the test. But in the edit, I'll scrub through and I'll see exactly when it started to step down. And I'll see when it ended that step down. And I'll put it on the screen right now. All right, let's do the beam test. As always, I'm going to start on Moonlight, but not stay here for very long. And 5 lumen Moonlight, as expected. Let's move on to low. Am I kissing that tree very slightly? And let's pan across. And yeah, like I said, it's very slight, hitting that tree right there and that barn on low, but that's fine. Like I said, this isn't really going to be a thrower, and you're not going to buy this flashlight for its throwing capabilities, that's for sure. So now let's go to medium. There we go. We pan across. Now you guys get a better idea of that beam profile. Nice, floody beam profile, nice and even. So if I hold the flashlight still and pan back and forth, you can see that spread on that beam. That spill right there is nice. Look at that. Very nice. And there we go, hitting that barn. And as always, I'll put up the distance between me and that barn right there. And that tree. And see if I can see any deer. I haven't seen the deer there lately. I'm not really sure where they've been. They usually hang out right there in that little shrubs, so the shrubs right there. But let's go to high. Nice. Digging this floody beam here. And you can see right dead center that hot spot right there. Even that's fairly wide. Hit those trees back there, not a problem. So that's low, medium, high, and double click for turbo. There we go. 5,000. Wow. That is actually really lighting up my backyard here. That is nice. Once again, that spill is taking up almost the entire area right here. But it is hitting that barn over there with these 245 meters on turbo. So still pretty decent. Not a thrower. More of a floodlight, as you can see. But yeah, I mean, I'm still seeing my entire backyard with this light. So very nice. And now just for the heck of it, I'm going to turn it to, oh my God. I'm going to turn it to that reverse light mode. And it's probably not the greatest thing to demonstrate out here right now. I don't know. Let's see if I can put it right here. Put it right there and then back up. That's probably a better idea. Yeah. Wow, that's actually lighting up. That's high, I believe, or the turbo. So that's lighting up a lot of this. Let me see if it can actually stick to the side of my building here. It wants to, but it's too top heavy for that. Yeah. It's just aluminum. If it was actually stainless steel or something, let me put it on the side of my propane tank. Jeez. There we go. So you can see it does support its own weight, completely horizontal. Get a good idea of how it's illuminating everything. So that's pretty decent. But now let's go to another part of my yard. So do I recommend the Olight Prowess? I do. I recommend this as a camping light. As an everyday carry flashlight, not so much. I mean, it doesn't come with a pocket clip. It does come with a holster, but I think the head size, the length, and the weight is going to deter a lot of people from wanting to carry this on an everyday basis. But as a camping flashlight, absolutely, especially with this pretty cool reverse light function, this warm light that is really, really bright. You can either mount this upside down in your tent, or if you want to use this as a desk light, plop it in that charging base and put it on a little stand like this. So continuous light as a desk lamp, I like it. And couple that reverse light with a 5,000 lumen front light. That's a pretty nice, floody, evenly spread beam. Very, very bright. Only 245 meters of throw, but as you guys saw, that should be plenty for most people. If you're looking for a very spotty searchlight, this isn't going to be for you. So what negatives do I have here? I guess I don't really have a lot of negatives. I do have some suggestions though. So I guess my first suggestion would be give us a USB Type-C charging port on the actual flashlight. Even though I think it's great to give us a USB Type-C charging base right here, but honestly, that's the exact same thing as giving us a magnetic charging cable to charge it. And that's another thing. I sort of wish they would have given us a magnetic charging cable along with this USB Type-C charging port. A bunch of us have the magnetic charging cable laying around everywhere, especially if you've been buying Olights for the last 3, 4, 5 years. But I can see a lot of people not having that magnetic charging cable, especially if the Prowess is their very first Olight. Also, if they come out with an updated version 2, I would like to see a stepless dimming feature, a rotating dial right here for that front light mode. Sort of like what we saw with the Olight Seeker 4 Pro right here. You can see that dial. I don't have my camera on autofocus, but that dial right there rotates, so stepless dimming. I think the Prowess would really take advantage of this rotating dial right here and give us a stepless feature in both the front and that rear light. Instead of having to hold down the side switch, I think that would be a fantastic upgrade here. And my last suggestion to Olight would be stop giving us these proprietary batteries right here. I tried 3 other batteries, 3 other 21700 batteries, and they just don't work here. So if I'm out camping and this flashlight goes dead, I can't just plop in any random 21700. I have to have another one of these exact batteries from Olight. But other than that, I think the Prowess here is a pretty cool, innovative new flashlight from Olight. I'll tell you, flashlights like this is why I love doing flashlight reviews on my channel. I love seeing cool new features such as this bidirectional feature right here on the Prowess. I think is awesome. And I can see this flashlight being very, very popular, especially with campers or backpackers in general, just with this reverse light function. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. What do you think of the Olight Prowess? Now, if you guys want to check this out for yourself, I will have links down below in my description box. But if you did enjoy this video, please give me that thumbs up. Please subscribe.